Conservative Media Viewers, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, and we've got Paula Villarreal there joining by phone. Now, we're covering wall to wall this incredibly shocking and tragic shooting incident with Congresswoman Giffords and the federal judge and the little girl and everybody else out there in Tucson, Arizona. Now, we've covered, we've given our opinion on it, we've called for the prayer vigil, we've covered the news, we talked about how we, in our personal opinion, the evidence at this time, right now, seems to indicate that this guy's left wing. We've talked about how this is definitely not Sarah Palin or Rush Limbaugh or anyone else's fault on the right, and we talked about all that. In this video, I want to try as best we can, and again, this is entirely our personal opinion, everything in this video connected to it, comments related, anything around or related in any tangential way to this video is all personal opinion only. We're not alleging any facts, casting any aspersions. It's all for entertainment purposes only. It's up to you to get the facts yourself and make your own decisions. Now, see, I've seen things like this coming for a while because we're sort of in tune more with like the younger generation out there and whatnot. We're down with the kids and the kids are down with us and all that too. I've seen this type of thing coming. And it's this weird confluence of factors. And my best guess, in my personal opinion, of what the sort of mental or political motivations, and again, a huge caveat, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, this guy seems like he might have some serious issues, possibly, if that's the case, and it's hard to get in. I mean, how do you explain crazy? If he is indeed medically crazy, if he's deemed that, then how do you explain that? So that is a huge caveat. That being said, what I think is going on here is you have this radical left-wing, the government's controlled by corporations and the global bankers and all this type of thing, whatever, and hey, the universe is whatever I want to make it, it's all a dream kind of deal. In other words, the easiest analogy I can make for people that just don't get it, look at the protesters at the G20. That might give you an indication. That, hey, government's controlled by the corporations and the military-industrial complex. That kind of deal. Let's burn the flag. All that kind of stuff is, I think, where this guy might be coming from. Now, we want to talk about influence. People want to, Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin has nothing to do with this. From what we can see right now. The evidence that we have right now today, Sarah Palin has nothing to do with this, neither does right-wing anything. But, and I'm not going to name names because I don't, again, as I've said before and I'll say it again, nobody had nothing had anything to do with this but whoever committed this crime. They have a suspect in right now, they're going to have a trial, we'll see what happens, right? If it's deemed a trial that this guy that they have is guilty. Nobody did this crime but the actual person that committed this crime, right? But if we want to look at, possible influences, don't look at talk radio. Don't look at Sarah Palin. Don't look at Fox News. You might want to start looking at some of the popular culture. And again, I'm not going to name names because none of these people or specific, pop culture things, I'm not even going to, name mediums, whatever like that, are responsible for this guy. But let's just say it's a very popular genre of movies, shows, this and that, whatever. So thoughts going on out there that, that the cool people is this hardcore anti-government thing, or maybe all the world's an illusion type of thing. And again, I'm not going to name specific names, but I think people might start getting what I'm saying here, right? Everything's an illusion. It's all what I make it, and they're trying to fool me, kind of thing. Or he talks about these dream worlds or walking dreams. Now, what does that sound like to you? Right? Or we might want to think about some of the other portrayals out there about, like, some of the anti-heroes or heroes or this and that, whatever. Right? So, just think about how much of that's kind of messaging, this anti-government, anti-corporation, anti-military industrial complex, anti-US type of messaging comes out of, some of the media out there. And you find that. You find a lot of, particularly on the net and stuff like that, you see a lot of that kind of messaging, and again, that also squares in with the whole atheism thing. And this kid seems to be an atheist. The atheism, we're smarter than you, just because, you can, I've seen this. I've seen people comment on us who don't seem to have any serious formal education, who are in some, totally remote areas, this and that, whatever, haven't really seemed to do anything in their life, and they're, just by being an atheist, is smarter than anyone else because I don't have an imaginary friend. And so you have this kind of thing where it's like anti-religion and anti-government, anti-authority, anti-US, anti-flag, and all that type of stuff. And we're smarter than everyone just because we're that. I'm an atheist, I'm smarter than you. I'm a left-wing radical, I'm smarter than you. We're elite just because of that. You could, a lot of these people, it's almost like you could be a homeless, uneducated bum, but hey, I'm an atheist, so I'm smarter than everybody. And, everything's a dream, everything's whatever you want to make it, and they're trying to fool us, and the global bankers and all that. That all comes together. That all comes together. And you're seeing that whole thing. And a lot of those folks, there's violence involved. Look at the protests. Look at what happened in Seattle. Look at what's happened in all these G20 meetings and whatnot like that. Again, look at the popular media cultures and popular film, some of these anti-heroes, stuff like that. A lot of violence associated with them. Again, I'm not blaming anybody or anything so I'm not naming any names whatsoever. It's nobody's fault. I love a lot of those movies myself. I love a lot of that other entertainment value myself. But I'm, a normal, adjusted, successful human being and stuff like that. And that is 99.99999% of people. Crazy people, if this guy is crazy, and I'm not saying that he is, dangerous, violent people are going to do dangerous, violent things. Crazy people are going to do crazy things for any given reason. Right? Whatever. So, but I'm just saying, if you want to look at some of the thought processes around here, and all I'm saying is, if there's any causation to anything, it's when you push this, who cares about the parents? Who cares about religion? Religion's all fake. Oh, we don't have, nothing means anything. And you can do whatever you want. No consequences, whatever like that. You don't have to answer to God. You don't have to answer to the government. You don't have to answer to anybody else. You do whatever you want. And this disconnect from values and parents and society and stuff like that, that's when you can have some issues, potentially. And again, I'm not blaming anybody or anything else, but I'm just trying to get you. And unfortunately, there's a little too much celebration maybe of some of that type of stuff. I want people to be as free as possible. I believe in government. I think government is good. I think we need to have some government, and I think it's important, and I love America, and I love the whole situation. But so I'm not looking to regulate anybody in this, but I'm just saying that really this doesn't come down to regulation. This comes down to people. This comes down to parents doing a good job with their kids. This comes down to making sure that we're telling people the right stuff. And if these kids start believing that nothing means anything, and and it's all the whole world's a dream, well, some of the people that are really unstable, that might be some of the issues. Paul, what do you think of that?
Well, look, I think that in looking at the text of what this man has said in some of his videos, I haven't had a chance to watch them, but I have heard some of them. And I agree with you. I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose this, but there seems to be some disconnection just in what he says. Like there seems to be just kind of disjunctures in his speaking, things that don't go together, just kind of discontinuities. And I think that's, for someone that is a doctor, that could be a starting point in terms of looking at the person and seeing if there might be some challenges that they're experiencing, some difficulties. Also, I think that weapon, like even like when he was in college, when he's taking college courses, which is, look, if you're in an open carry state, you know, that's one thing. But apparently he was making disturbances, like in his like an algebra class at the college that he went to, and you know, with a weapon. So I think there's something to be looked at here. Again, I can't say what it is and what it isn't, but if you are someone experiencing, you know, mental health difficulties, I mean, anything can set you off from anybody on, you know, anywhere. Right. It doesn't have to be one thing, whether it's popular culture, whether it's a particular politician, it can be anything. So I think, you know, blaming it on anybody, if that's the circumstance, is just, you know, it's irresponsible.
It is irresponsible, and that's the thing. If someone's truly a violent, paranoid schizophrenic, you could probably walk down the street, see a red dot, and that sets you off to do who knows what. Okay, I mean, it doesn't, you know. So I'm just saying that I think there are certain things that are now sort of in this use of that they're pushing that, you know, kind of has this sort of that kind of negative culture that I'm talking about. At the same time, I'm a total optimist. I think the kids are going to be fine. I think America's going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine. I think everything's going to be fine. I think this is one guy that did a really horrible thing, and I think unfortunately, sometimes bad things happen, and sometimes none of it ever makes any sense. But that's the best, in our personal opinions, grasp of maybe where this kid might be coming from, if he's the one that did this crime, if it's in any way logical. If someone's, you know, not mentally sane or stable, then anything can be anything. But that's in our personal opinion, that's our best guess. What do you think? Do you buy what we're saying? Do you have your own theory? We want to hear it. Again, keep all the comments legit. Comments below, subscribe above. All our personal opinion, all for entertainment purpose only. We're not alleging any facts, casting aspersions. Check the disclaimers. And in the next video, I want to do one more video on this. And I want to talk about, as people are talking about, oh, we need more gun control. Oh, politicians need more security. I want to talk about what the lesson should be from this going forward and how we should conduct ourselves. Okay? So, again, thank you for watching. Spread this video around. Keep it. We appreciate you guys, you know, looking at our videos and supporting us. So, I am John. That is Paul. We're Conservative New Media. We'll see you next time.